The people are being squeezed. And it's not just in the US, it's everywhere. Everybody's being squeezed. People are doing crazy things to make ends meet, dealing with crazy things going on, selling what they can to make ends meet. Scary times. And it's not going to go back. We are in the reset. The stage has been set for the 2030 agenda. We are right on time for the 2030 agenda. You will own nothing and be happy. Bunch of clowns at the top make the decisions for everybody else. We became too politicized, too divided on every side. Team building and community building sound like work. The only chance we have. They did a good job dividing us. I feel bad for the young men and young women coming up. I feel bad for those folks, the young folks trying to make the way. And I remember back in 2006 when I started my business, and shortly after that we had the housing crash. This is gonna make that look like child's play. What's coming at us will make the 2008, 2009 recession look like I don't know. It won't look that damn bad compared to what we have going on. For the young men coming up, the young women, my advice is this. You're not going to build up what your parents did, and you're not going to be able to save, and for the most of us. So don't even try to compete with that. Adopt more of a minimalist lifestyle. If you got one vehicle, make sure it's a good one. If you can consolidate where you can, consolidate. Be careful with these new cars, these CVT transmissions. They're all designed to be junk and leave you stranded and at the dealership spending money. Do your research, get you an older car that doesn't take a lot of money to work on. And you guys are just going to have to grind it out. It's not going to be easy. I look back now, I have the solar panels, I have the generator and a lot of the things that I need to just live off grid. I've got the water well. I could pump water off solar. So I've got a little bit of flexibility and I could wait it out. But these young kids coming up, it's tough. They don't have near as many options. The work, even though the minimum wage has went up considerably, everything else is a scam. Team build, guys, with the ones you can. There's going to be people, especially now, that you can teamwork with, share resources. Maybe if a guy has some land, try bartering, or maybe you can raise fruits, raise vegetables, offer to pay some of the bills. That may be the way, but if you can get out of the US, get out of the US, guys. That's going to be ground zero. Everybody that voted for Trump is going to have to be punished in their eyes. So they give Trump their loosh. And I know loosh is still a fringe topic. A lot of people don't know what loosh is, but they harvest loosh, and that's what they operate on. It's crazy to think that, but they have technology that we wouldn't even recognize. We wouldn't even know it was a false flag. We wouldn't even know what was going on. But they take that energy when people vote. That's why they ask you to cast your votes, to cast, because you're casting your votes, your power, so the majority of people all voted for Trump. That's the energy. So that dragon has that energy now, and he's going off of everybody's energy, and he's not going to stop until everything's destroyed, because that's what he was called to do, was to take down the old system. And he's doing a good job. People are hurting. People are hungry. People are skipping meals. They're not eating as well. Maybe they're skipping protein. They're skipping the steak for carbs and rice, spaghettis, whatever they can get their hands on. So the nutrition is going to at the same time be going down. But maybe people will network better. Maybe we'll be forced to finally start team building and remember those things that we were taught. So I graduated in 2004. We still had 4-H and FFA. So they were big on the Sentinel, the Secretary, the parliamentary procedures, focused discussions, everything you need to build a team, a creed. The young people now don't even know where to start when building a team. A lone wolf will not, even though I am a lone wolf, the lone wolf will need a team. Need some guys to barter with, need some people. Maybe one person signs up for the biometrics, and that one person allows access for the other team members. So team building will be the critical edge, just like your battery bank, just like your solar. Maybe you're producing moonshine for antiseptic, for the generator, for motorcycles. Maybe somebody else is producing honey. But the team will be just as an important of a tool, if not the number one tool, than those other preps. So us alpha lone wolves will have to swallow our pride and teamwork. I can feel it, guys. Start small. Start with a few brothers, a few good people that's got like-minded values, and you make your creed out. For example, your creed can say, focus water and food reserves, independent living off the matrix. So that's your creed. So as you build your team up, you basically interview them. You see what they're about. If they're not about what your particular creed is, then you cut them out and you keep it moving. You don't bitch about them not fitting your team and blah blah blah, or maybe your friends and your close family. Those people won't be the ones anyways. Your old friends, they don't want to see you grow into something new, and then the family are oftentimes, folks, the first ones to take advantage. So be real careful with family. I know we all want to have a family network, but just be careful, guys. Be careful with the family. I'm not saying you can't have your family come visit your tribe, see what you got going on, but be careful bringing family members in. It's usually problematic. I had a plumbing business, one of my first plumbing businesses. This is the way I was able to get prepped and to get off grid and buy land, was some of my construction businesses. But the first business I had, I partnered with my brother. Boy, was that a mistake. That was pain and suffering and drama, and it was constantly a battle. So, which he had his ex-wife in his face telling him what to do. So it was really a partnership with him and the wife. And I was young and naive. Don't partner with a simp. Don't partner with a boomer. Don't partner with any one of those happy wife, happy life. The guys that sacrifice their peace for their wife. If you partner with somebody like that, or somebody like that's in your team, they will sell you out every time. Those are the ones that are sleeping with the other people, the other team members. When you putting a female on the platter, that's just a red flag for what else you got going on. I've had guys like that. And you would think, well, they're putting their wife on a platter, but those are the same guys that'll go off and they'll simp out to other women and they'll sleep with other women, other guys' wives. I've seen it and I've seen it. Those guys that simp out to their wives are the first guys sleeping and messing around with other people's wives. Get a guys that are either single or actually lead their household, which is very few. There is very few married men in 2026 that actually lead their household. The system is built on the man being subservient to the woman. The woman has all the power. She can call and have your ass taken out of that house. That will become her house, and she can move whoever in there with your kids. So you don't see your kids anymore, and some guy she met on Tinder with questionable behaviors, erratic behaviors, is with your children and trying to parent your children. And if a guy steps in like that and tries, and I've had that happen, and he tries to parent and be the dad to the children that ain't his, that's a red flag. That guy's got fucking problems. And this is what happens. If you're lucky, guys, you only lose half your stuff and you get to see your children. That's the good side, is you lose half your shit and you still see your kids every now and then. That is the best outcome that you're gonna find, the best. And that's not that great. I had a friend that ended up he went to go see his children. It was his time to see his children, so he went to his, this was in a buddy from Oklahoma. He went to get his children for his weekend, and ends up dead face down the ditch. Now I don't know exactly the string of events. I know he was just going to see his children, but most likely she called the cops. She was acting like a stupid bitch, right? They don't love their children enough to want their father. So one thing led to another, ended up being a shootout with the police. So all he wanted to do is go see his children. That was all he wanted to do. These women will kill you and murder you and never even think, that's my child's dad. I want my child to have a father figure, their father, their seed, their creator. Remember, the man bears the seed, right? Nope, they don't need a dad. I'm gonna screw him over. And then what happens? Those children get raised without a father in their life, all because the ex is salty. And a lot of times, the ex-wife is the one that started the breakup anyways and filed for divorce. Can you imagine that? That gentleman didn't want his family to get split up, but she wanted to go and fuck a few dudes. So there goes your family. And then instead of just cooperating and letting the man come see his kids, he's face down in the ditch, dead, shot up. These women will make these men lose their mind. They take their family, they take their home, everything from them, and they try to follow the rules that are imposed upon them in the court. And then they do that, and the ex still has an attitude and is still salty and ruining everybody's lives. Man, this is what we're living with. Get the good men, rally the good men together, guys. Buying power. We're not going to be able just to have, a parcel of land somewhere and just do everything without anybody's help. It's not going to be possible, guys. You're going to need a welder, a plumber, somebody that does the plants good. They know how to propagate the plants, and because I know I don't have a green thumb. Most of the time, if I plant something, I have to soak it and pray that it survives, because I don't have a green thumb. But yeah, guys, a lone wolf attitude is not going to make it, but we do have to do better at getting the silly actors out of the life. You'll find those good dudes. There's not many. You should be able, in your network and your tribe, you should be able to find 3 or 4 good dudes, and that's going to be it. And then they're going to have 1 or 2, and that's going to be the team. It's going to be a real small team, but once you get that team and everybody's in on it, on the creed, everybody agrees with the creed, and they're all like-minded, and you're having a weekly meeting. Remember what the scriptures told us. Everything is 7 days. So you got to have a weekly meeting. People may change their mind. Their things may change. They may move. They may not want to be in that same place. So have a weekly meeting, and that's how you build it up, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off here. Stay strong. Peace and love, guys.